What's up, guys? This is JZNES back again with another video. Today here we're talking about Journey to Silius on the NES. Now, Journey to Silius is a game that I've covered a little bit. I've covered it on a Two Dudes and a NES podcast from, I don't know, it's been a few years now, but oh yeah, by the way, this part's like, sounds a lot like the Terminator theme when you listen to it. This game's very Terminator inspired. It was originally going to be a Terminator game. Uh, then they canceled that as a Terminator game and just turned it into Journey to Silius. The final boss is even like a Terminator. Spoilers for Journey to Silius. It's a fucking NES game. Get over it. There's only 6 stages too, by the way, which is fine with me. I mean, they're fucking hard stages. Like, and if you're playing this shit legit, you're gonna need to either practice up or there's a code. It's like you gotta do it on the title screen. It's like you hit B 33 times, I think, and then start or something like that, and then it takes you to a menu where you can up your continues to 10 rather than like 3, which is what you have by default. So you only have like 9 lives by default. I didn't need the extra continues and whatnot. I was playing on the Switch Online, so I just rewinded most of my mistakes. So I did beat the game in like an hour and a half, but I have beat this game legitimately at least once, if not twice. And then I beat it with emulation when I did it for the Two Dudes and a NES podcast. Listen to this fucking music. Okay, gotta say, off the bat, I know, we're just hammering right into it. The music in this game is fucking legendary. One of the best NES soundtracks, and that is saying something. There are so many great NES soundtracks. I'm putting it up there with, like, Mega Man 2, you know, which is a fucking amazing soundtrack. That is a legendary soundtrack. That's what kind of quality this is. The first time, like, this sounds like it's beyond 8-bit. I don't even know how the fuck they did this. All that shit right there. It's insane. It just sounds so good. Sunsoft was always good for their music. But yeah, it's a Sunsoft game, by the way. So, like, great music, but hard as fuck. That's what Sunsoft's all about. You know, Batman and fucking Fester's Quest and shit like that. Anyway, so, but yeah, the music is fucking legendary. 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, 40 out of 10, 300 out of 10, I don't know. Whatever the highest infinite out of 10. It's pretty much flawless for a soundtrack. Every stage has a great theme. So, it's just pulse-pounding, action-packed sort of music. And some ambient tracks here and there, but they're still all a bop. They're all a jam, you know? They're all fucking earworms, you know? And the good kind of earworm, not like the, oh, this is the 20 billionth time I've heard this Taylor Swift song, so now I finally know all the words, and I don't want to sing along to it, but I am, because, you know, I know every word, not based on a real example. I fucking hate Taylor Swift's music. I hate to say that I hate Taylor Swift because that makes me sound like an asshole. I've never met Taylor Swift. I don't know. She's probably a pretty decent lady. I just don't really like her music. Anyway, how did I bring up Taylor Swift in a fucking Journey to Silius review? The music is fucking excellent. So good. Top tier shit. Such a good soundtrack. So, gameplay-wise, it's a little bit more of a run-and-gun, side-scrolling affair. Not quite a Contra, a little bit more slower paced than that. You definitely want to take it a little slower too, because around every turn there's something that wants to kill you. So you definitely want to watch your corners, you know, and just kind of inch along sometimes. And it can get a little bit annoying, but when you got it down, you got it down, you know? And at that point, you just rock it and you go right through. But doing it all in one big run, even with your 30 lives, kind of like the Contra code, 30 lives, even with that, it is difficult. And especially if you're doing it on legit hardware, which is like what I did the original time. I spent weeks and weeks trying to get through it. You know, years really, because this is one of the first NES games I ever had. This was within the first like 10 or so. Um, all based on the HVGN review. It was one of his early reviews. It's like episode 2 or 3, I believe. Might have been episode 2, because he did Metal Storm, and then I think it was Journey to Silius. It's been a long time since I watched old HVGN. But, and he is, like, one of my favorite YouTube creators, if not my favorite. And especially back then, he was one of my favorites, right up there with, like, James Rolfe and that channel, you know, the Angry Video Game Nerd and all that. So yeah, like, when he recommended it, I'm like, alright, I'm collecting NES now. One of the first games I gotta get, Journey to Silius. So, yeah. But the gameplay is solid. It's not as, like, action run and gun as Contra, but it's a little bit slower. But you also have to kind of figure out, here's where I need to jump in order to not get hit. And you don't have that many hits. I mean, you have a fair amount of hits. You know, it's not like Contra where you die with one hit, you know. You get a fair amount of hits. You get 3 lives, and then when you continue, you have to continue from the beginning of the stage. So you can strategically kind of plan out your lives. If you get hit a bunch of times but you make it to the boss, you can at least die, and then you'll be at the boss with full health. Or you'll be partway back through the level. But if you make it to the final boss, because there's like a mini boss before the boss. So there's like 2 bosses at the end of each stage. If you beat the mini boss and you are on the boss, it will start you again on the boss. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you could make it there on 1 or 2 lives, to where you'll have another life to spare, basically, then you'll have full health and you can attempt to beat it. Otherwise, you'll be sent back to the beginning of the level, which is frustrating. But again, there's only 6 levels. And they're not terribly long, but they're difficult. They're all very difficult, you know? One false move and you're dead. So, the rewind feature on the Switch Online makes that a lot easier, obviously. You can decide whether or not that's good. For me, it's good, because I beat the game before and I don't care about the difficulty. It's the same thing I'm going to be doing with, like, when I review Donkey Kong Country and stuff. It's like, I beat those games before. Well, I beat the first one before, you know, but I don't want to sit here for months trying to slave away at it. I want to get the review out. I'm still trying to finish Tears of the Kingdom, so there's that. You know. Anyway. The gameplay is solid. The jumping's a little odd. It's not bad. It's good. It's just different from some other games. It's not your typical jumping, but it's not broken or anything. It's actually pretty competent. It's good. It works. Not just competent. It's better than that. It's a good jump. It's just different from how you're used to. So you really have to kind of time your, like place yourself. You know, do a little bit of a skill to get to the right place where they want you to be, and your timing has to be good too, because there's enemies all over the place and they will shoot you. If you don't have good timing, you're screwed, basically. So it's a really hard game, and it's NES hard, you know. So get good or go home, I guess. That's the NES slogan there, or whatever motto. I don't know. What's the difference between a slogan and a motto? Is a slogan like, it's like advertising, right, or something? And motto's like, I don't know. What's the motto with you? Anyway, yeah. Graphically, I think it looks really nice. It's got like that science fiction aesthetic. Lots of different robots and stuff that all look really good as enemies. The bosses are all really fucking cool. Oh, you got sub-weapons. You have like a homing missile, you have like a shotgun, a machine gun, and a laser, and a few other ones, grenade launcher. They all go off of the same ammo. So once you've ran out of your special ammo, you just have to kind of die, or you have to get more. Enemies do drop the blue, like, square thing, cube things, or rectangle things, I guess, that will give you more ammo, and occasionally they'll drop a red one, which gives you health. So there's that. Oh my god. What the fuck? Okay, so yes. What else? What else is there to say? Looks great, sounds great, it plays great. It's just a friggin' great game. It's very underrated, you know? These days, a little less so underrated. The fact that it's on Nintendo Switch Online should say a lot. I mean, like, dang. Like, I mean, they don't always get the... They sometimes get obscure choices, but, like, you know, probably they could just buy Journey to Silius. It wasn't that big of a deal or anything. But, you know, I'm glad it's on there so more people can experience it. Of course, I've got the physical cartridge. I can always experience it, but, yeah. I don't know. I really love Journey to Silius. You know, it's great. For an NES game, it's pretty top tier. It's definitely, if I sell games, I'll always keep Journey to Silius kind of in my collection, you know. I'll never get rid of it. It was one of the, like I said, like the first 10 or so NES games, maybe even like first 5 NES games I went and bought for myself because I really wanted it, and I'm glad I did. It took me a long time to beat, though. It was very hard when I first got it. I couldn't even get past like the first few levels there. I remember me and Mayab like tried one time or a few times to get through, and it was just really, really, really hard. So, yeah. But, you know, I love the game. The soundtrack is a fucking eternal classic. So, yeah. Let's see if... I think we got kind of all the main beats here. Yeah. I really love Journey to Silius. It's a freaking great game, you know. And you should definitely play it. And if you have Switch Online, it's a lot easier. So, if not, you know, you can always emulate it. So, yeah. Or we'll go buy the physical cartridge. I'm not sure how much it's going for now. It was like a $30 game when I, you know, was buying, I guess, back when. I think I got it for less than that, like 10 or 15, but, you know, who's counting? So, but anyway, yeah. I like it. 10 out of 10 NES game. Until next time, if you want more talk about it, go watch the Two Dudes at a NES podcast about it, which I'm on. But yeah, until next time, this has been JZNES saying keep it classic, stick around for more reviews, underrated games, and I'll see you guys in the next one. JZ